Any topic you may have that you would like to address with the school board. I give no more than 30 minutes to this session. I do have a second public participation at the end of the evening in case you don't have the opportunity to speak to us. I just would like to remind everybody, if you're here to speak on the coronavirus and what is taking place, bear with us. We have some decisions we're going to be making tonight, so we may answer those questions as we go along. Because there are a lot of things that are out there, a lot of questions been asked, but a lot of this stuff we're going to make as decisions tonight as a board. So, but if you want to address the board with it, we have some items that by all means, I'm not going to say no to you, but we are going to be addressing the coronavirus tonight. All right, so does anybody want to address the board? George, just state your name and where you're from, please.
George DeZuna, Ward 1, City Councilor in Ward 1. I know you guys, things have changed drastically in the last number of weeks, and I know you guys have a lot of tough decisions to make tonight. But I just wanted to remind everybody and remind the public that the city has their emergency management thing that they're doing, and they're upgrading. And in that, we do have a list of volunteers that are readily available, whether to give out the dinners, whatever you might need help. So just keep that in mind, okay?
Thank you, George.
Thank you, George.
I know the superintendent attended the city emergency management meeting this morning, so he was there with that, keep up to date. And then we had a afternoon emergency management where the city officials came in with our school officials, and we had a meeting and discuss at that time. So everybody's been on the same page. Anybody else who would like to address the school board? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close that portion. Agenda item 3 is recognition. Do we have any recognitions for tonight?
I'd just like to recognize all the staff for all their time that they've put into working with the superintendent and the business administrator to get things up and running for the school districts. There's just so many components that we don't all know about that is behind the scenes, and each and every one of you deserve extra kudos.
Thank you. Anybody else?
So I'm not
Susan?
sure if we're gonna do principals reports tonight.
We're not.
Okay, I'd like to recognize my staff, in particular my leadership team, and the staff members who walked around us with the assistant secretary last week. It was a wonderful experience and a wonderful conversation, and if you haven't had an opportunity to see it, it is actually on YouTube. So to my staff for everything they did, thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Any other recognitions? Carrie?
So, I just wanted to recognize Jordan. Jordan, can you stand up for a second? So, Jordan Foote was awarded 1 out of the 15 scholarships for the Live and Learn scholarships in the state of New Hampshire, which covers his tuition for 4 years of school. He is attending He's going to be attending Colby Sawyer in the fall. We're very proud of his accomplishments, and total for the tuition, it's the value of $171,384. Wow. So congratulations, Jordan.
Any other recognitions for this evening? All right, I'm going to close that portion. High school student representative report.
Yes. Hello, everyone. First, you don't sit on this, so we can get a good look at it. It's good. Very good. All right. Proceed. Only a few announcements. Winter Carnival's over. It went pretty well. Altogether, some events had to be moved around because of snow complications, but overall, it went very well. Everybody enjoyed it, and there's been some concerns among the student body about what's going to happen with online learning for students who don't have internet access, but if that's going to come later, I'm not sure. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item 5, I'll turn that over to Carrie. That is for a Meadowbrook donation that we need approval for tonight.
Yeah, it is in my board report. Ed Darling and Ariel Braggins were gonna be with us this evening. But in light of current events, I decided to not have them attend. Meadowbrook, their charitable foundation has completely consolidated, and they had some remaining funds left over, and they've donated them to Ms. Braggins for the high school for some storage for musical instruments, and different things she has planned for our music department. So, that's on here. I was looking for the board approval because it's $2,200.
I move to accept the Meadowbrook funds in the amount of $2,200.
Second.
Motion's been made to accept the Meadowbrook donation for $2,200 by Paul, second by Scott. Do you have any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The ayes have it, the donation's accepted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. Agenda item 6, we will not be having tonight. That'll go on to our next agenda. Agenda item 7, technology plan. Did everybody receive the technology plan from our technology director?
Yes.
All right, Robin is here tonight. Does anybody have any questions for Robin pertaining to the technology plan?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Go ahead.
I'm just, is there any major changes from the previous plan?
Well, yeah, all of the, everything in it is changed per this cycle, like all the whole budget's completely different.
Okay.
All the graphs and stuff are different, the actual wording, yes, populations changed.
Right, but I
That's
mean,
just
it's
standard format.
Just data. It's
Yes,
just- oh, okay,
correct.
yeah, thank you.
All right, so Robin is looking for approval for this technology plan, so I'll need that done.
So I move that we approve, the technology plan that's been presented.
Second,
Motion's been made by Scott to approve the technology plan. It was seconded by Susan. Do I have any discussion?
Susan, who's Susan?
You said it at the same time.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay.
Yeah, we
I
said it at the
didn't
same
hear.
time.
Okay, good.
Do I have any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The ayes have it. The plan is approved. Okay, I'll be looking for approval of, board meeting minutes for February 17th and March 3rd.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes of February 17, 2020 as written.
Okay, motion's been made to approve the minutes by Cecile for February 17th as written. Do I have any corrections? Or second first? Second by Chris. Thank you, Chris. Any corrections or anything? All right, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Susan abstains. The ayes have it, that one's approved. I'll need approval of board meeting minutes for March 3rd.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of March 3rd as presented.
Motion's been made by Deb to approve the March 3rd meetings as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff. Do I have any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? One abstention by Susan. The ayes have it. Approved. Agenda item 9, old business. Jefferson will give us a quick report on our finance, or if you have any questions, I know Jefferson sent out everything. Does anybody have any questions for Jefferson? Alright, based on that, Jeff, I'm just gonna waive the rest of it, okay?
Yep.
We can
Everything's in
post
flux
out
now,
everything.
based on everything
Yep.
else, so.
I'm just gonna take care of the rest of it, but, based on everybody's reading now, go ahead and post it like you usually do,
Okay.
so. Do you have any committee reports I'm reporting out tonight?
Got anything, Melinda? No? I2 committee met on March 11th. We discussed, Secretary Brogan's visit that Sue touched on earlier. We received a manufacturing business update. We went over, a proposal to have city council do the assessment presentation at the board. Participated in, and Dan might be touching on it later in his, superintendent report. We discussed the ongoing teacher evaluation plan update, and, we discussed some, elementary school updates. Next meeting will be, April 13th at, 6 o'clock.
Thank you, Chris. Any other committee reports?
We had a finance committee meeting on March 9th. We reviewed our previous minutes, bank reconciliations, we're still looking for a treasurer. It has to be a Franklin resident. So if you know of anyone that, would like that job, we'd love to talk to them. And we reviewed, some of the budget update from the, administration, that it has presented, and we also talked about the block projects, and the Medicaid, reimbursements. And our next meeting is April ninth?
April 9th.
Ninth.
Yep.
Ninth? Ninth.
What time?
6 o'clock.
Six o'clock.
Any other committee reports?
I have a question actually. Do we have any progress on full meeting with the city council?
That's on the agenda for
I
tonight.
think that's what that one is.
Yes. Okay, legislative report, there will not be any legislative report, Warner's not here. We get new business, with the superintendent, actually, the first thing is our, I'll just get right into that with the 2021. Yeah.
So teacher nominations, I need a motion, please.
I'll let you go first this time.
Thank
I'll
you,
go
you
second.
good? I'd like to make a motion to accept the, teacher nominations as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made to accept the teacher nominations for the 2020-21 school year as was presented, seconded by Scott. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The ayes have it, it's approved. Alright.
Meeting with the city council, any update?
Well, we don't have an update yet. I did speak to the city council at their last meeting. They had canceled out due to, they had some issues within the city of their computer system being hacked, which took a lot of effort and time on a lot of city's employees to fix the situation. Primex also, we had, the mayor and I had spoken to each other about Primex possibly facilitating the meeting. The city did reach out and spoke to Primex, but unfortunately, Primex covers both the city and the school, so they have elected not to facilitate this. Jules has spoken to me about, under the portrait of a graduate, they can do some facilitating. So I believe Jules is gonna reach out to them, and we'll have more of it for the city. The other avenue is gonna be looked at, and the city was gonna look at some items, was find out what the cost would be for us to split a facilitator. So as of right now, and I'll address it with the city council again in April, and let them know where we stand, but as of right now, this, because of what had happened within the city, at their meeting, they asked to cancel it, and that's why we did it, cancel that meeting, okay? So it is still there. They still wanna meet with us, but it's now a matter of how we're gonna go about doing it and finding a facilitator.
Could I suggest that we request a liaison committee meeting, just as a, just get something, some kind of discussion started?
Yeah, you do that with Jeff?
Yeah, I'll speak with April Bunker, who's the chair for the city side, and we'll get something together. We had actually discussed that it would probably be a good idea to have the larger meeting first before we break it down.
Right now, we're looking at like
Yeah.
maybe June or something before.
Well, we'll see, but with this whole coronavirus thing going, I think we may see some delays in what we're gonna do anyway. But yeah, if we're looking at something.
We also might just have a lot of time on our hands.
But if we're looking at things being pushed out that far, then of course we would look to meet ahead of that meeting.
So we'll keep up on it. Alright,
Okay, the assessment meeting discussion, I'm gonna postpone that to next month. Our intent was to talk about our next steps, but in light of the situation, I think we should hold that. Next one, I think we should hold as well, quite frankly, the discussion, the response
Yeah.
to, Joe. I think we should hold that till our next meeting. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just found out.
Okay, that's too bad. So let's get to the topic at hand, which is our response to the coronavirus outbreak and the governor closing the schools on Sunday. Go ahead.
Can I just so, before we get into the corona thing, I just want everybody to know, we will not be doing curriculum, special education, Portsmouth School, Franklin Middle School, Franklin High School reports tonight. Everybody received them in their package, you all should have read them. There's too much for us to do with this, discussion on coronavirus. So, based upon that, this is all stuff that you all have in your package, you can read them if you have questions. Send them to the superintendent will send them out to their proper administration, okay? So, those items are off the agenda, cause we have them in our packet. So let's go right to coronavirus, thank you, Dan.
All right, so as everybody knows, this thing has been moving very quickly. And I've been cautioning everybody that planning has been an hour at a time as the information continues to come in. And I would caution all of us to continue to plan that way as we keep getting new information in. That's how we've been proceeding as a district. On Saturday, when we got the news that there was a potential community transmission in Manchester, is when we decided to cancel school Monday, or when I decided to cancel school Monday and have teachers come in. Nobody would have predicted that the governor on Sunday closed all the schools in the state. The administrators met most of the day today on and off with their staff and each other. I have formulated a plan here with the school board that I'd like to go through point by point. I will be asking you to take motions and votes on each point as needed, so that we can then get information out to our kids, our parents, and the community about what our response is going to be. The plan is in front of you, so I'll just take you through it one point at a time. I've been in contact with the bus company and with our food service director, Brenda Patel. We have bagged breakfasts and lunches ready to go. We are working on transportation with the bus company. The hope, and this is tentative, so please get this correct, the hope is that on Wednesday morning, we will be running the bus routes from 9 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock in the morning around the city to provide breakfast and lunch to any student, regardless of their economic status, that needs food. Any student, no questions asked. I have a meeting at 9 in the morning with the bus company to confirm this. Once it is confirmed, we will publish the locations that the buses will be stopping around the city. We will be putting an all-call out to all of the students and families so that they're aware that this will happen. And that will proceed Wednesday and beyond as long as it's safe to do so. So we're hoping that can get going Wednesday. Number 2, all families with students will be invited to do a drive-by pickup. My recommendation is of Chromebooks and learning materials from 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow till 3 o'clock at the middle school and the elementary school, and from 11 o'clock until 4 o'clock at Franklin High School. The decision the board needs to make is authorizing us to send those Chromebooks home. Our intent is to put the Chromebooks in the hands of the families so they will have access to online learning opportunities for as long as we are out. My belief is that we will keep track of which Chromebooks go out to which families, and I do not believe we should be asking families to sign off any type of responsibility at this point, that us just keeping track of it is good enough. But that's a board decision to make, that's my recommendation.
Question.
All right,
Let me make a motion.
hold on a second.
Should I make a motion before we get into discussion?
Yeah, you can make a motion.
Okay, I'm just gonna make a
Sorry.
motion, we get to
Okay,
discussion.
okay.
Yep.
I'll move that, the board approves, Superintendent Gallo's plan to release Chromebooks to students, for the duration that we're out of school, and the timeframe listed in the plan.
Okay, motion been made to allow Chromebooks to be sent out for students with the time frame that was presented by the superintendent, seconded by Scott. Do we have discussion? Okay, hold on, let me,
Oh, yeah.
Cecile, go ahead.
Oh.
We're gonna ask first, so go ahead.
I'm just, are you going to have, like a tally sheet saying that student and the parents
Yes.
gonna sign it?
No.
No?
We are asking parents to drive up to the building We will have teams of teachers and staff, paraprofessionals, grab what we have in terms of Chromebooks or paper copies of information that teachers have been working on all day today, put them in the car with the student and the parent, and have them drive away. So what we're trying to do is do this efficiently. And I don't think asking parents to read and sign, when we have
I'm
400 kids at the middle school thereabouts. So we're gonna be looking at lines of cars lined up as we put these materials in their cars and send them on their way.
No, I'm not asking for responsibility, I'm just asking if you'll know who picked it up, that's all.
Yeah, every Chromebook has a student's name on it already.
So they'll get their.
And they will get their
okay.
Chromebook, and we
Okay.
will check off a list.
Okay,
Johnny
that's all I,
Jones picked up their
that's all I
Chromebook.
wanted
Yep.
to know, okay.
And Robin keeps a list, she knows everything, all the principals, all the teachers, so,
Okay.
like they said, they'll have the whole list of, you know,
Okay.
Susie took it with mom, Johnny
Okay.
took it with dad,
Okay.
you know, so they'll have
Alright.
that.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Don't we have a policy that they have to sign off? Do we need to waive it? So we need to waive that.
policy.
Yeah,
Yeah, for taking them out of the school.
right.
Yes.
So we need to waive that.
Yeah, we can get into that, yeah.
Yeah.
I understand the efficiency piece. My question is, if that computer does not come back when we reopen schools, because we have not legally had any signature exchange of an understanding of responsibility, we have no recourse.
My understanding is Trump will make money available to reimburse the schools.
To replace.
Can we
Yeah.
do this online? Sign on, signature online?
I mean, I'm in agreement with Dan. I think we're getting into the weeds when we
Yeah,
start
in the
asking
weeds.
that, and it's gonna bog us down, and it's
And
just
giving the
bigger.
Chromebooks is great, but what about internet connections?
That, I mean, we're not, the internet
one thing at a
connection is
time.
going to have to be,
One thing at a time.
you know, something that a family's gonna have to look into. We haven't got that availability.
So,
Okay.
so nothing's gonna be preloaded on the Chromebook, it's all going to be online?
No, we are providing right now, the staff is providing both Chromebooks and hard copy, packets for kids without internet, access. So
Okay.
we will have both provided, so that
Okay.
every kid will have access to something. We will be doing phone check-ins and email check-ins for those with access. So we're planning for the whole spectrum of possibilities out there in the city at this point. So there will be no kid that is gonna be left without some sort of access to education.
So do we have, like a timeline of, let's say this last 2 weeks, let's say this last 4 weeks, 6 weeks, are there gonna be additional pickups and packets?
We cannot plan beyond tomorrow at this point, Chris. This information is coming in so quickly that we'd be foolish to think about that. We close the schools
No, I understand.
within a weekend. We need to plan for what's happening tomorrow. We originally, just to tell you how fast this is moving, we originally were gonna plan to do this over a couple days, Tuesday and Wednesday. The governor, if you haven't heard, has closed all the bars and restaurants as of this evening. So we don't even know by tomorrow morning where we're gonna be at.
St. Patty's Day.
So my goal is